Absolutely. We brought our kids out here because this is what we were afraid of. We thought we got to get them out here now before it's gone, and that's why we're here. That's basically what it boils down to.
And would you say that it's pretty sick and pretty just absolutely ruthless to, in the name of the environment, hijack environmental treasures so you can later subdivide them?
Yeah, I think that's wrong. Yeah, ruthless is how you put it. Okay, I'll agree with that. I totally agree with that.
Talking about shutting down the park to vehicles and making everyone pack on buses to come here. Don't really? No. All right, thanks for the help. Have a good one. I think we need more interviews. And come in on buses.
Doesn't sound like a very good idea to me.
Well, yes, you're the person.
Otherwise, I wouldn't be here, if we had to do that.
And you're the person that pays the taxes to upkeep this place.
That's right, yeah. And the fees to get in, of course.
And, it's only a first step just to see what the government can do to public lands and then next private property, because it seems like more and more they have their eyes on public property and private property.
Well, they're doing a lot by executive orders, just saying that it shouldn't be done without the voters' approval.
And it's like an executive order is almost admiralty law. It's like military law.
Well, it doesn't seem like it's the American way, does it? It seems like that's the way they do it in more or less the communist countries versus the United States, where we vote on things.
Absolutely. I appreciate that, sir.
Okay.
Y'all are the owners. I mean, we bought into this whole federal government type deal, and now they're telling us that we can't even use what we supposedly own?
Well, I don't know. I'd rather...
Yeah. Turns this over to the United Nations, and they got a plaque down at the main central office. It'd probably be easier just not to think about it.
How come they didn't start you with the conspiracy theory?
It's not a conspiracy theory. There's a bronze plaque right up there, ma'am. You see that right there? They talk about a Hollywood movie rather than the bronze plaque in the executive order. That is what's wrong with America, ladies and gentlemen. People have been taught, bred from a foot tall, absolutely not to care, while they're being raided by the government, which is controlled by corrupt corporations. And when I say that, I mean the top 20. What people think is rich is a joke in this country. They think a nice house and a nice car is wealthy. And that's why it's so easy for the establishment to manipulate people. You notice the well-informed people would talk to us and knew of the executive orders, only a few. And they're probably the people who've actually done well economically because they were able to sift through the lies. But the rest of America seems to love being conned. It's like they get into being lied to, and they get an incredible thrill out of the whole thing. That is painful to me. That's why I'll continue to make these documentaries. I will continue to rant and rave on the radio about factual information. And if people don't have the inner strength to rise up to a threat, foreign or domestic, and stand up for U.S. sovereignty, then I feel really, really sorry for them. Because that's where we are in America today. We are under siege. We're losing our property rights as we speak. Y'all heard the news? They got a plaque up there. This has been signed over to United Nations control. But some lady said, I've seen the movie Conspiracy Theory. She won't go look at the plaque up at the front visitor center. That'd be too hard. She'll just say, oh, another conspiracy theorist. We're now inside the Rocky Mountain National Park here in central Colorado. A very, very beautiful park with mountains and streams and creeks. And here is a map in front of you of the area that is being taken over by the United Nations and other international groups now that President Clinton has been signing executive orders doing that. And I guess in a way it's only karma, or you reap what you sow, because we took it from the Indians, my ancestors did, and I guess it's being taken from us now by Europe. The people we ran away from to come to this country are now coming back and taking, I guess, charge of their slaves again. So, again, this entire area is coming under United Nations control, and it's been a process that started in 1968 and now is beginning to come to fruition, and now they're going to start restricting access to the park and other parks, and I'm sure in 10 years from now, after they've gradually gotten us used to losing control of our public lands, they'll start subdividing it for the corrupt top 20 corporations that make their money out of crime and manipulation of governments, not out of creation. So that's what's going on here. And the middle class, be aware you are the enemy in this third world war that is silent.
Have you seen the bronze plaque that's hanging up right inside that makes this an international biosphere? It says UNESCO, you know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, now I know what you're talking about.
Well, what's your opinion? Do you think America can run its parks, or do you think we need international help?
Oh, I think we can run our own parks. That's a personal opinion. It's not a, you know.
So
I'm not speaking for anyone else.
Oh, I understand. Why do you think that we can run our own parks?
Oh, our own parks with the federal government here in the United States?
Yes.
Or each one individually? I think each one individually can do a wonderful job in running their own parks.
Absolutely. Too. Local control is always better.
And we're getting local control. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am aware that they're, well, exactly what's happening.
A certain percentage of the fees, the increase in the fees, is going to stay in each park, each individual park.
Well,
that's brand new. That's a whole new concept. And it's wonderful. And they've also increased the fees, which is also, I think, wonderful.
Yeah.
Doubled in some instances. And I just don't think you can pay enough to be in this kind of beauty and this kind of atmosphere. Really
well, I'm willing to. Well,
that's my personal feeling. I think it's just a wonderful place.
Well, it is wonderful that we have these national parks, but it's not wonderful that she's totally uninformed. Yes, they've doubled the rates. Yes, they plan to increase them more. And yes, they give the locales a small percentage. That's how they got them to sign on to the new federal supranational program. But I asked her more, and she, again, had never heard of the United Nations plaque hanging inside the place where she worked. It's all being done cunningly, gradually. Now the documentary changes. We're done with the national parks and the UN takeover. Now we're going to go to Oklahoma City and back to Austin, Texas to expose the UN here in town, taking over our youth.
Ma'am, I want to ask you about K-Tag. What exactly is K-Tag?
It's an automatic transponder, automatic toll system. You get a little transponder you put on your windshield.
So
it opens the gate for you. You're billed for it.
So you put an automatic transponder on your car. Part of the new smart highway system, or?
I don't know. I have it and I love it.
I love it too. I'm gonna get one right in my forehead. Thanks a lot. We just drove through a toll road here in Kansas, and they're putting in these chips in your cars where you just drive right through. And I said to the lady, I said, do you like that? What do you think about that? And she goes, I think it's great. The lady that works here, and I forgot to tell her, oh, so you like something that's going to make you lose your job. And plus, in a few years, you'll just have transponders in your cars to make sure you've paid your taxes. It's Pandora's box. But hey, it's a great idea. We're going to be slaves. I love it. Thumb scanning, urine testing for driver's licenses. Just great. I'm excited. Let's get back on the roads. Go pay more tolls and have transponders.
I'm standing at about the point where Timothy McVeigh supposedly parked the truck bomb, the fuel oil fertilizer bomb that destroyed the Murrah building. Since April 19th, 1995, masses of evidence have come out. People have seen the newscast from the first day where they reported multiple bombs. Experts like General Benton Parton, ex-head of Air Force Weapons Development, Ted Gunderson, FBI chief, have documented with the U.S. Geological Survey's own seismographs that there were multiple explosions, that the building was blown out, and that it was impossible for a Ryder truck filled with even premium-grade military explosives to cause that damage. Now, there was probably a Ryder truck used as a diversion, and again, that corresponds to the multiple seismograph explosions shown by the state and federal agencies. But the media has chosen not to report on this. Now, here's the key point. They told you about a big crater. Newsweek had to show you an illustration because they didn't have any video evidence. Well, here is the video evidence. A pile of rubble. The building was blown out. Now we're fixing to show you some newscasts with more conflicting evidence. There you had the pile of rubble, not a crater.
We want to update our audience that the Justice Department is reporting that a second explosive device has been found in the AP Murrah building in downtown Oklahoma City. Mike, you're still with us, aren't you?
Yes, I am, and I might tell you in addition to that, in fact, what we were told at the scene a few minutes ago was that, in fact, 2 different explosive devices were found in addition to the one that went off.
So a total of 3,
A total of 3, and of course,
have is that one device was deactivated. Apparently there's another device, and obviously whatever did the damage to the Murrah building was a tremendous, very sophisticated explosive device.